firm and young with a laid back tongue. The aim is to
Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Bill Vella, and apparently you have just stumbled upon Bakat Bill's South African Appreciation Talk Show, where I talk about my appreciation for South Africa. On today's agenda, we will be graced with the presence of the ghost of Mama Africa herself, Miriam Makeba. It will definitely be a spooky and lovely evening as Miss Makeba and I discuss her background, rise to fame, and opinions on the era of apartheid. We will even delve into her arsenal of eclectic music, analyzing the context in which it was written and recorded. In fact, you are currently hearing one of her early 60s joints, Chicken Kikiliki Ki, right now. But first, some background information. Miriam Makeba was born in Johannesburg in 1932 to a Xhosa father and a Swazi mother. When Makeba was only 18 days old, her mother, who worked as a domestic worker, was arrested for illegally brewing beer. Little baby Makeba was too young to be separated from her mother at the time, so she went to prison too. When her father died, she moved to her grandmother's in Riverside, Pretoria. At a young age, she fell in love with singing and joined her school's choir. In 1947, during King George VI and Queen Elizabeth's royal tour of South Africa, Makeba performed her first significant solo. In the 1950s, Makeba lived with her mother in Sophiatown, making a living through cleaning houses. At this time, Sophiatown was one of the few areas where all races would mix. Sophiatown was also the scene of Kwela music, Marabi, and African jazz. It was here that Makeba joined her cousin's band, the Cuban Brothers, as a singer. For the next few years, she moved all over, from South Africa to Zimbabwe to the Congo, with a different group known as the Manhattan Brothers. Touring with the Manhattan Brothers increased her reputation, and by 1957 she was widely recognized. That same year, Lionel Rogerson invited her to work on his important and renowned film, Come Back Africa. Her performance in Come Back Africa was so lovely that Harry Belafonte personally invited Miriam to tour with him in the United States. It was at this time that she blew up. But enough from me, let's talk to the lady herself. All right, now settle down, people. Now, Mrs. Makeba, just wanted to say it's an honor to have you. First question for you is, what do you write about with your songs? What do you write?
The songs that I sing are just about my everyday life. And the things I say are those things that have affected my life.
That's interesting. That's a solid method. Now, you say things that affect your life. We all know that you lived in South Africa during apartheid. So how was life under apartheid? How did that affect your world as an entertainer?
That I left South Africa because there was just no scope for me as a black entertainer, in that there are places which are reserved only for whites and white entertainers. For instance, for many years we were not allowed to drink, and therefore we were not allowed to perform in nightclubs where liquor was being served.
Well, that is unfortunate, but some of your songs are so upbeat. It just seems that you had so much hope at the time. Is that true?
At one time we were saying free in 63, not knowing it's gonna be years.
Well, I guess who would have thought, back then that 31 years later is when it would be over? Like, who would have thought it would take that long? But Miriam, unfortunately we're running out of time, so I have to ask you one last thing. What are your final thoughts on the white man's role in apartheid? And please keep it PG because I know you can get pretty sassy.
It's like saying when the Europeans went to America, there were no Indians there. It's ridiculous because they were there. I know that my people were there. We don't write our history. It has always been handed down to us orally by our elders. Of course, the white man came and he writes history. In fact, you don't know anything about any place until the white man gets there.
Wow, that's a great point. Well, like I said, unfortunately we're out of time. Miriam, thank you so much. It is you are a delight to be with, and I hope everything is going great in the afterworld. I hope you're singing a lot of tunes, because Lord knows we're still listening to him down here. So I wanted to thank you again, and thank everybody for listening. My name is Bill Vella, and I'll see you later.